In this video, we'll be going over 3 examples of principles we have discussed in class. The first example is about increasing arousal, the second example is about focus, attention, and concentration, and the last example is about psychological skills training, specifically habit change. Let's get started. The first thing we'll be going over is from our chapter on stress, arousal, and anxiety, specifically increasing arousal prior to a lift in the gym. There are 3 methods implemented in this demonstration that we learned about in class: increasing our breath, using music, and increasing our pace. The first thing you'll notice I do is select my music prior to picking up my weights to prepare for my lift. I like to choose music that gets me moving and shaking my head, from underground rap to classic rock. Next, you'll notice I begin shaking my leg and my head as I pick up the dumbbells. This helps me increase my pace and stimulate my body before beginning the lift. Lastly, you'll notice I begin to increase my breathing right before picking up the dumbbells to begin the lift. This is the final method of increasing arousal that I use in this demonstration. In this demonstration, an increase in arousal was the best way to increase performance. This falls in line with drive theory, which states that as arousal increases, so too does performance. This also supports the all-arousal theory by proving that arousal does not always have a negative effect on performance. The next thing we'll be going over is from our chapter on focus, attention, and concentration. I'll be using 2 all-stars in their respective sports, LeBron James and Earl Thomas, to show examples of situational awareness, selective attention, and maintaining attentional focus. First, we'll take a look at LeBron James and how his ability to be situationally aware, select his attention, and maintain focus helps his performance in making an incredible pass. From before the opportunity to pass is even available, LeBron is aware of the situation, seeing that both Lakers defenders are going to close out on the corner shooter, leaving his teammate wide open for a cut to the basket. Although LeBron is looking at his teammate in the corner and even fakes the pass to him, he maintains his focus and selective attention only on the player cutting to the basket. From this angle, you can see that out of the corner of his eye, LeBron can see the cutter underneath the basket.
LeBron, no look, hello. Oh boy, LeBron's got eyes on him.
LeBron's ability to be situationally aware of where everyone is on the court, maintain his focus throughout the whole play, and selected attention on his teammate cutting to the basket is what makes him a great player, seemingly always making the right play. Next, we'll look at Earl Thomas and how his ability to be situationally aware, select his attention, and maintain attentional focus helps him be a ball hawk to make an interception.
Easy catch.
Right when the ball is snapped, you can see Earl in the top right of the screen stay ready and on his toes. As soon as he sees the quarterback release the ball, his situational awareness allows him to make a quick break on the pass.
He came away limping after that tackle. Here's one over the middle, in the air, and it is intercepted. Let's take another look. Yeah, the ball gets tipped up, and
in this angle, you can see that once the pass is broken up, Earl does not lose his focus, but rather maintains his selective attention by tracking the ball while it's still in the air, ignoring everyone and everything else.
Jarwin is basically just trying to knock the ball down, get it out of there, and pull it in. It's just the hot potato.
Earl's ability to be situationally aware of the pass, maintain his focus throughout the whole play, and selected attention on tracking the football is what makes him a ball hawk, seemingly always being in the right place at the right time. The last thing we'll be going over is psychological skills training, particularly habit and routine change. I will be demonstrating this using my old and new routine of throwing a football, from grip to throw to follow through. When changing habit or routine, the cue must stay the same, the reward must stay the same, but the routine must change. In this case, my cue of my teammate calling for the ball remains the same, my reward of a tight spiral stays the same, but my routine must change, given that it is not working to throw tight spirals. The first thing I'll go over is my grip before making a change, where all my fingers would be across the dividing seam of the ball. This did not work because I could not use my index finger to roll the ball out of my hand. Next, I'll go over the peak point of my throw, which, prior to making a change, came with my elbow below my shoulder, as shown here. Lastly is my follow-through, which, prior to making a change, I didn't have much of. It was more of a flick or catapult than a follow-through. The result of this was a wobbly and inconsistent spiral. After applying the methods for habit change with my cue and reward remaining the same, my grip has changed, with my index finger now placed at the dividing seam for optimal spin. My peak point of release has also changed, with my elbow above my shoulder allowing a north to south motion rather than an east to west motion. With the 2 keys to habit change of believing change is possible and receiving some coaching, my new routine for throwing a football is more consistent and gives me confidence and mental comfort knowing I can throw a tight spiral. In this video, I have given 3 examples of principles we have learned in class. The first is increasing arousal, the second was focus, attention, and concentration, and the third was psychological skills training, particularly habit change.